Yeah, with regards to auto insurance, I'd like to share just a little bit for Leisure World clients. I think well, without question, the most important thing is your liability coverage. Liability protection is what is going to protect your assets. And along those lines, we encourage people to crunch their own numbers, and whatever you feel your net worth is, liabilities or assets minus liabilities, that could well be an appropriate level that you might want to consider for liability protection on your auto insurance. It's just a suggestion, kind of a guideline that we use here in the office. Again, I'm not an asset protection attorney or something like that. You might want to consider another source, for your liability considerations, and then just simply tell us what you would like to say be proposed for coverage-wise on liability. But again, liability insurance is really the single, in my opinion, certainly for anybody that has assets, that is the most important coverage on your auto policy. I could touch for a moment on medical. Medical is something, again, that's optional. You can put it on there. Now, most people, particularly, Leisure World, they have good coverages through maybe their Medicare supplement or their various Medicare, I should say, their various Medicare coverages. They may not even have much in the way of deductibles, particularly in an emergency situation from a car accident. But medical is something that you can add on to the policy. And again, you can never really have too much insurance. So medical is something that you might want to review with us. And it could also be not only helpful for you, maybe offsetting deductibles or other expenses that maybe your particular medical coverage doesn't cover. Also for a passenger in your vehicle, they could also make claim on the medical. So it's an important coverage. Now the next one I'll touch on a little bit is uninsured motorist. And there's actually even a provision there for underinsured. And again, actually legally, you don't have to carry uninsured motorists. You have to sign off on it if you don't want to carry it, but you don't legally have to carry it. But excuse me, it is an important coverage. If you're hit by someone that has absolutely no insurance, or they have very low limits of coverage, it's obviously very important to have. One of the big things is pain and suffering. So you are a passenger in your vehicle, you've experienced an accident, and again, the other party there at fault, they have maybe low limits or don't have any coverage at all. It can be lost wages, pain and suffering. There's a host of coverage benefits, shall we say, there, but I really consider uninsured motorist a personal benefit for you and or your passengers. Lastly, I'll just touch on car rental coverage. Now, if you have comprehensive coverage, which is another thing probably worth mentioning, that what we call BI, or bodily injury, that is for liability purpose. That's to protect you if you're at fault. Injuries or damage to property that maybe your car you is driving, or someone that you let use your car was responsible for. Car rental coverage is something that if you have the comprehensive coverage, you have collision and you have comprehensive. Comprehensive is fire and theft, that type of thing. If your car is stolen, you actually automatically have car rental coverage. But now if you're in an accident, regardless of who's at fault, if you have car rental coverage, you have access to being able to get a rental car and it being covered. I would, excuse me, I would encourage, probably these days you should probably at least have the $50 a day benefit. You can get $25, but probably $50 a day would be probably a pretty good level to get you something, be able to get you a reasonable car to rent in these situations. So that pretty much concludes what I wanted to share with regards to your auto insurance, and specifically as it applies to Leisure World. One final little note I might say is with regards to comprehensive, it's everything, all different types of damage, including theft, that could happen to your vehicle other than collision. You have to have collision coverage to cover an actual collision. Something's moving or something stationary, rather you hit it, or a vehicle that you're involved in, these types of things. So that concludes my segment on auto insurance recommendations for Leisure World. Thank you.